Hello, spiritual soul, and welcome to the Cognizant Crone. Today's reading is a pick a card reading, and it's around a sign that it is time for something to manifest. Something is coming your way in the next 2 to 4 weeks. We've got 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So I would suggest that you choose the pile that you're drawn to. Sit for a moment and see what resonates with you, and you can skip ahead to that pile using the timestamps in the description box below. But before I get into the readings, be sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you don't miss out on future readings. And now, on to our 3 piles. Hello and welcome to pile number 1. So here we go. We're going to jump right in. First off, we're going to be using the Arcanum tarot deck. We're going to be clarifying that with some oracle cards. But first, when we want to talk about what is it that is a good time to manifest now within the next few weeks, we're going to take a look at the card that's come out for the overarching theme. Let's see what we've got. We have the moon. Oh, I'm loving this. Okay, so the moon is a card that speaks to things that are unknown, things that are mysterious, a little bit occultish. It's a fun card to me. I always love seeing the moon because you never know what's going to come out of this. This is a bit of a sign to me, and we're just getting started. Bit of a sign that something that is coming to you is probably unexpected. Something maybe that you don't exactly see coming. So let's use the cards to find out how you can recognize what that might be as it comes into your awareness so that it's a signal for you. Aha, this is the thing that's been on its way. So now we're going to get into the tarot. Let's get our 4 tarot cards. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse, followed by the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Always love seeing that card in a reading. We have the 6 of Cups, also a lovely card. And last, we have the 5 of Cups. Okay. And then the underlying energy is the Magician. And I always love seeing that card too. Since this is the underlying energy, we're going to put this here right underneath the moon for reference. All right. So before we get into talking about our tarot cards here, I want to talk about the Magician with the moon. So the Magician, this is a card of alchemy. It's a card of manifestation. So the fact that the card of manifestation in the tarot showed up in your manifestation pick a card reading, this is huge. This is a major, solid confirmation that there is definitely something coming your way. And this is on a positive trajectory. So I'm so pumped and curious to see where this is headed. So again, manifestation, alchemy, this is making magic. This is where you're headed. Okay, so now let's look at the tarot. First up, let's talk about the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is shown up in reverse. And the Queen of Wands, it's a very fiery energy. It's passionate. It's a go-getter. It's a lovely energy. But she is showing up here in the reverse. It feels like she's wanting something. She's waiting for something. And it's not quite coming together. It's not quite manifesting. And I say this is something she really wants because right beside her is our Ace of Cups. Now, I was saying I love this card, and it is a beautiful card. This is a little bit of your hopes and dreams and desires, but it's what fills your cup, what fills you up, what makes you feel the best version of you. It's not about becoming it. It's not about attaining something. This is all about the feelings and emotions when we talk about cups. It feels like because the Queen is so fiery and go-getter, maybe she's a little bit more up in her head instead of feeling into how can I manifest what it is that I want. I think that this moon card is here as a little bit of a wake-up call to say, sweetie, you know what? It's nice that this is something you really want and you're really passionate about it and you're really thinking about it and you're really wanting it. And that's all fine and dandy. But are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? when you feel into this thing, perhaps the moon is here to say, you know what, the thing you think you want maybe is something different. This isn't a bad thing. This isn't a bad thing at all. It's asking you, this message is asking you to feel into what it is that you want, okay? And then when we take a look at our Six of Cups, this is a card of nostalgia and it's a card of looking in the past. So to me, this is saying, it's kind of a dual message. It's think about the past. Reflect on it a little bit. What filled you up? What made your heart happy? What put a smile on your face? If the thoughts and ideas and feelings and emotions that come up around anything, and it doesn't matter what it is, are starting to make you smile a little bit and think very fondly of the past, that's where you need to put your effort. That's what you need to manifest. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing, but it has to invoke the same feeling. Let me give you an example. Let's say when you were a kid or a teenager, it doesn't matter when it was really, but it's easy to go back to when you're younger because manifestation was so much easier back then. You're wide open, right? You're ready for anything and hopeful, and you believed in magic and fairies and all the fun stuff in life. Right? Go back to those thoughts. Go back to those days. Maybe when you were a kid, you really wanted to be a cowboy. You wanted to work with horses and you wanted to have a farm and all of that kind of stuff. It was just so exciting to you. And life went on and that dream kind of died. Maybe when you were a kid or a teenager, reality in life kicks in. And sometimes it says to you, and it's usually influence from outside, saying, you know what, that's not very realistic. You know, you don't have enough money to buy a farm. You don't have enough money to own a horse. You're never going to be able to do this. All these influences that come from whether it's family or your teachers or society in general, right? And so you kind of let that dream die a little bit. Well, I don't think dreams ever really die. Sometimes I think they just get shelved for a while. Now, I'm not saying this means you're going to manifest a farm and become a cowboy and own a bunch of horses. Although if that's what you want, then I hope you do. The point of this is to say, when you felt like that, when you were a kid, maybe it's not so much the manifesting of a farm or horses that is on your mind and the thing that you are passionate about. But when you think about this new thing as an adult, it's like it brings you back to when you were that kid wanting the horses and the farm. So I hope this is making sense. It's really important to put those feelings into the past and good stuff only, right? This is going to amplify your manifestation abilities with our magician, okay? And then last, we have the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is here to talk about gratitude. And from the perspective of maybe, let's go back to this thought of things that maybe didn't come to fruition. And, you know, you can think about way back in the past, like when we talked about this horses and cowboy kind of reference. I mean, it's very fun, but it's looking at and focusing on the negative side of this to go, well, when I was a kid, I really wanted to own a bunch of horses and have a farm. And that never happened because of A, B, and C. So you're focusing on what didn't transpire instead of focusing on what did. You need to start practicing the gratitude and focusing on the positive things. This will also amplify that manifestation magic that you have within you to make this happen. So I hope this is making sense. Now we're going to move on to the oracle cards. I'm telling you, this reading has such a really good, powerful, positive feeling because we're talking about manifestation. It is such a powerful process, but you have to be tapped in. You have to be tapped in and tuned into the energy, the positive energy that will allow this to happen. You see, so I hope this is clarifying some things and making sense to you. Last card. These are clarifying our tarot cards. We're going to get to these in a minute. Now it's hard for me to squeeze them all into the screen, but I'm going to do the best I can. We'll work with this the best we can. All right, let's see. So we're starting with our Queen of Wands. Under the Queen of Wands, the card that came out is 7 Heavenly Virtues. And this is the keys to goodness. The keys to goodness, do you want to know what that is? It's gratitude, it's magic, and it's using your imagination. These are, all of the cards are bringing so much power into this reading. The 7 Heavenly Virtues, I'm not going to get into them because it's less about that. It's heavenly virtues. It's the keys to the goodness. We've just had the discussion about that, where the Queen of Wands may be up in her head, where we're looking at more thoughts over feelings and emotions, right? The keys to goodness is the feeling. It's about the feels, right? So we understand that piece of it. This is just to amplify that message. Then when we look at the card that came out under the Ace of Cups, we have Ask for Help. And it says, angels are celestial beings who protect everyone. And the fairies say now is the time for you to ask for angelic assistance. You don't have to manifest on your own. You can pull in help. Not just angels. I'm even going to color outside the lines and say it's not just about angels. Whoever you pray to, whoever you find as either a deity or an ascended master, anyone you think can help you, work with the energy of the fairies, work with the energy of nature, of Mother Gaia. It doesn't matter who. This could even be people living in the 3D world, right? Your best friend. Maybe you have a co-worker or one of your cousins or a sister or maybe a parent, loved one. It doesn't matter who it is. Someone you trust and someone who is supportive. As you work on this and figure out how to pull up those emotions to fill up your cup, to fill yourself up with that love and that magic in order to manifest. There's nothing wrong with bouncing something off somebody else, but this is a word of caution. Be sure this is someone you can trust. This is someone, like I said, they're going to be kind, they're going to be compassionate, and they are going to be supportive, but they'll give you a little butt kick if you need to as well. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it helps to have external sources giving us a little bit of a kick in the butt when we need it to get back in line. I say that tongue in cheek, right? Now, under the 6 of Cups, the card that came out is Justice. And justice is very much about balance, and it's about fairness and equality. And what this is saying is you need to remember when you're looking back in the past to invoke that feeling, right? To bring this into the energy of the present in order to manifest what you want. When you are tapping into this energy, you need to be sure that you're not leaning to the negative side of whatever that is. You want to move to the positive, and even a neutral set point is okay. Because the positive side of it might feel a little bit too much like, oh my goodness, I'm 5 years old again and donning a cowboy hat. There's nothing wrong with that either. Especially if you're a cowboy, obviously we're not talking about that. But the point is that even if you're at a neutral set point to go, okay, so yeah, I really loved that when I was a kid and it really just lit my soul on fire, the thought of it. Well, you know what? I need to be a little more practical now, but you're taking the positive parts and bringing it sort of to that midpoint to say, okay, you know what? I think there's a way we can do this. I think there's a way I can figure this out. And then it sparks the desire so that this Queen of Wands now becomes this. She's upright. She's happy. She's all over it. She's into it. The passion, it never was not ignited. It's not like a reignition, but it's just more of fanning the flames again, right? So that's what I get with the Justice card. And then last with our 5 of Cups. So this is us speaking of gratitude, right? This is us speaking of gratitude. The card that came out is Cat, and this is independent. It's the buzzword. It says you are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way. As much as you can ask for help, you don't have to follow the crowd. If people say to you, you know what? Yeah, this is stuff, you're sounding like a kid with whatever it is that you want. Who cares? You need to have that strength, right? That fortitude and set those boundaries and say, it doesn't matter what you think. I appreciate your opinion, but you know what? This is what I need to do for me. Are you in or not? Are you going to be supportive or not? This is also really pointing out why you have to be discerning about who you share this with, if anybody, because you don't have to. But I love that it says your intuition is strong and you are being supported and you just do your own thing. Now, it does say you are a natural healer. So if this is around a healing business in any way, shape, or form, anywhere where you are helping others, and that includes the planet and our little furry friends too, right? Double down the energy. So, oh my goodness, this is really good. The manifestation that is coming, I think you understand where it's coming from now. Tapping back into that feeling and bringing that into the present of whatever it is that you want. And this should resonate. As I speak about all of this, there should be feelings and emotions coming up. That's what you need to follow. Wonderful. I love this so much. So thank you for watching. You know what? Maybe you need a little more advice. Take a little look up here. Wherever that card is, you might want to watch this video. I think it's somewhere around here. Something's going to pop up. Take a look. In the meantime, here you go. Make your plan of action, feel into it, and see what comes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to those of you who have chosen pile number 2. We're going to jump right in. And before we start looking at the tarot, I've pulled a card for each of the piles that speaks to the overall theme about this manifestation that is coming. Let's see what you've got. We have the Hierophant. Okay, so we're going to put this over here. This is going to be one of our reference cards. So the Hierophant, this speaks to things like institutions. It speaks to structures. It speaks to wisdom and learning to a degree. The Hierophant can be someone who's a very good and revered teacher. So it could have something to do with that. I'm going to make my little prediction here before we get into the cards. This is probably around either teaching or learning. Perhaps you are looking for a guru or a leader or looking to learn something specific, or perhaps you are looking at teaching or thinking about teaching. And this could go either way, so take it to suit your situation. We're going to get our tarot cards now and see where this is headed. What is this manifestation all about? It's all about timing, right? It's time to manifest. What is it time to manifest? First card out, we have the 9 of Wands. Next card, we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the Knight of Cups. Oh, I'm liking that. Oh, and one popping right out. Last card, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And our underlying energy is the Tower. Wow. Okay, we're going to put that here because these are our reference cards. So we have our overarching theme, the Hierophant, as we spoke about. This is either structures, boundaries, learning, teaching. And we have the Tower, which speaks of a shakeup, an upheaval, a big change. This is quite the impact of what's going on here. Now, we're talking about manifesting something. We're going on a positive trajectory. So let's see where this is headed. Trying to get the cards in frame as best as I can, but might cut off a little bit. Okay, Let's talk about the Nine of Wands, okay? The Nine of Wands is, because it's so close to the end of something, when we look at the tarot and we're looking at the minor arcana from Ace to 10, 10 being the last card, of course, when we're at the 9, we're so close to the end. We're so close to the finish line. But it's that feeling of needing to just stop and pause for a moment. And I don't think this is a bad thing. Feels like you've been on a trajectory. You've been on course. You've been going down a path where now the question is this the right path? Is it time to change or course correct? Because I think you are very, very close to manifesting something. And I think a big question is, do I want this? Or do I need to tweak it? Do I need to make a change? Maybe you're so close to where you are that you're realizing, oh, the person that I've been following, the person who I've been learning from, maybe isn't the right person for me. Maybe you're going down a path of, I really want to teach ABC. And as you get closer and closer to that goal of being able to teach, you're thinking, I don't know that this might be the right thing. This is to me, when manifestation becomes so important, and I'm so glad this reading is coming out like this. Pile number 1 was very similar from a perspective of really think about what you want to manifest. Because when we are in high manifestation potential, you don't want to be making any mistakes. Not saying that to scare you. I'm saying that because you need to realize and understand how powerful your manifestation abilities are right now. Okay, so this isn't a bad thing. This is a reflection. This is looking at where you're at and where you have almost come to, because you've almost reached the end of the road. Now with this, right beside this, we have our Six of Pentacles, which is a card of balance. It's a card of give and take. When this card is in the reverse, it feels like you are giving far more than you're taking. And I wonder if that is why with this Nine of Wands, you're pausing, you're stopping to look at the situation and say, I'm not sure about this. I don't know that this is the way I want to go in this situation, within this institution, learning from this person, heading towards these rules and regulations, this structure and box that I'm going to be put into, right? It's like going to school to obtain a degree or a diploma. And as you're so close, maybe you're in your last year and you're looking at the few years before, and you're looking at where this is headed or who you're learning from or the path that you're on, and you're thinking, I see now. I see where this is headed, and I don't know that it's for me. Look at all this effort I'm putting in, and yes, I'm getting something out of it, but I don't know that I'm being justly rewarded. And I don't know that that will change, even when I get to where I want to be. So I think there's going to be a lot of soul searching here, and that's why it's such a big change with the Tower. We'll just use that example of if you're in school, you might even be ready to take exams or get into a big test, like passing the bar, right? If you want to become a lawyer, and then boom, it all blows up. But you're the one to blow it up. It's your choice. You're the manifester. You're the one who has the power. You're the one who's the magician, right? This is up to you, but you are feeling this. You're definitely feeling this. Like, I don't know about this. I'm not sure. So you want to be sure before you really do manifest, because if you aren't sure, it's moving ahead. That trajectory is going, you're going to cross the finish line, but do you want to cross that finish line? Then we look at the Knight of Cups, and I love that this has showed up in this position as we're talking about all this stuff, like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And what comes out of it starts to come out of it. where the change happens, where this potential tower might start stirring things up, is when you are in your heart space and you are looking down the road and you are looking at the path and you are looking at everyone on both sides of that road that you're traveling, and you have a smile on your face. You're happy. You see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not an oncoming train. You see the light at the end of the tunnel and you're like, yep, that's where I need to go. And it could be as simple as this was the road you were on and you just take a little right or you take a little left. But you feel it. The cups are about emotions. You're on your horse, your head is high, and you are smiling. That's when you know you're on the right path. That's when you know what it is you want to manifest, you will manifest. Or you're on your way. And then, this is beautiful. This is a great way to pull this all together. And then we still got to get into our oracle cards. Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is a card that speaks to, it's a bit of a miserly card. It's a bit of clinging to things and hanging on super tight because you're afraid to lose something. You're afraid to let go. Look at what we've been talking about here. Maybe afraid of the upheaval with the tower. Because this is in reverse, you let it go. You let go. You let go and let God, right? It's like Jesus take the wheel kind of vibe, right? And this is beautiful because when you're finally really happy and feeling into where it is that you're headed and you let go, you loosen the reins, that's when the magic happens. That's when the manifestation has been all through this reading. It's there, but the manifestation becomes something that makes your heart happy. It lights your soul on fire. That's what you want. And that's what I want for you. I love this. Okay, we're getting into our oracle cards now. I could just stop this here, but no, we're going all the way. That's right. We are leaving no stone unturned, right? This has been quite the pile number 2 here, isn't it? Isn't it? This is awesome. Oh, I just love doing this. I love these readings. I love seeing what's possible, right? For all my lovely viewers. And, who doesn't need a bit of positive reinforcement in their life at any point in time? Okay, let's see what we've got. I'm going to kind of squish these a little bit. Do the best I can. Let's get our cards all lined up here. Let's see. Okay. All right. This is probably going to work best. There we go. We'll do it this way. Okay. So under the 9 of Wands, the card that came out is money. And it says find a way to abundance. Money. So if this thing, right, whether it's teaching, learning, whatever, structures, boundaries, foundations, anything like that, this is around money. And the 6, I'm going to pop over here to the 6 of Pentacles for a moment. This quite often is around money as well. It doesn't have to be. So I didn't want to put that out there. But it does speak of give and take. And let's talk about it more from the perspective of resources, okay? Money, we'll use the word resources, okay? You're still finding a way to abundance. So if you're looking at the path you're on and you're like, no, not feeling it. Maybe because the more you give, the less you're taking, you're going to be depleted. You want to make sure you're protective of your assets, of whatever it is that's going to get you where you need to go without clinging to it, right? There's that balance. And when we look at the 6 of Pentacles, the card that came out is inner child. It says the fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. So as you are, should you choose to stir things up and create your own tower moment here, in order to keep things light, in order to keep things as flowing as possible, as gentle as possible, don't be so serious about it. Yes, serious things may be happening, And I'm not saying ignore your responsibilities. Don't worry too much about it. This is putting trust in the universe. You'll know that you have tapped into this when that smile is on your face here, right? With our Knight of Cups. And under the Knight of Cups, we have prosperity. We've got 2 cards here around manifestation of money / abundance. There is a lot of abundance coming in here, but it starts with this 9 of Wands. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with it? It's when you decide which path you're going to take that the manifestation can happen. The abundance comes in, that flow. And check this out. The letting go is a big piece of it with our 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And what came out with this? The Dolphin card. And the buzzword is play. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom and go with the flow. 2 cards, speaking of being playful. The more you trust, the more fun you have with this. I mean, look at this. We've got this triangle, this trinity of the 2 cards of play with the Knight of Cups. And what did I keep saying? Put a smile on your face, right? You can't be sad when you put a smile on your face. And it's really tapping into that. Everything else will flow. But when you do this, this is not going to look anything like it did in the beginning when you started. Nothing like it. It doesn't mean you have to scrap this altogether. It's just going to look very different. And I don't think that's a bad thing. So, oh my goodness, we're going to leave it there. Quite the reading. The powers of manifestation right now are through the roof. I would love for you to tap into this and live your best life because you got some abundance should you choose to tap in to those manifestation, miraculous vibes that are yours. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you know what? I'm going to link one up here too, because I'm all about helping where I can. Check out this one and see if you get something out of that as well. All right. Leaving it there. So good luck with everything, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hello, welcome to pile number 3. We're going to jump right in. Before we get into the tarot, I'm just going to move that over here. I've got a card for each of the piles, which represents the overall theme of what this manifestation is about. And who do you have? The High Priestess. Intuition, manifestation. Oh, she's something else. The High Priestess. I'm loving that. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. I'm going to start with your tarot cards. Let's see what comes out. We're going to start pulling it all together. So we have the 10 of Wands. We have, slippery cards. We have the Knight of Wands. I gotta be careful touching these ones. We have the 10 of Cups. Both of those are in reverse. And that's too many. We'll take that one. And then we have the 7 of Swords in reverse. Underlying energy, we have the Sun. I'm loving that because the Sun is the best card in the deck. So let's talk about the High Priestess and the Sun. So we've got kind of our overall theme with the High Priestess and then the underlying energy of the Sun. I'm going to have to fit these in screen as best I can. So here's what I've got. With the High Priestess, yes, this is a card of intuition. Right off the hop, what I'm feeling is that because we are talking, this reading speaks to manifesting. It is super important for you to put all of your energy into your intuition. Okay, and some of you might be saying, well, you know what? I'm not intuitive. I don't read tarot or I don't see dead people or I'm not psychic or whatever. Doesn't matter. We all have this ability innately built into us. Okay. What this reading is saying is that you need to find a way to tap into this if you aren't ready already. If you understand, excuse me, if you understand this and you are well versed at tapping into your intuition, then you know what I'm saying. You really need to pay attention because, and I said this, I think it was when I was just doing pile number 2, I said, this is also saying, be cautious of what it is that you put your intention into because it's such a strong and powerful time of manifestation. You don't want to mess it up. You don't want to manifest something that you don't want, which is, it's always very possible. But when we're talking high manifestation zone, you really don't want that. So this is just a word of caution with this. Not saying that to scare you. It's just so you're aware, right? And if you don't feel like you really tap into your intuition, all I'll say is just really focus on what it is that you want. Don't just think with your head, think with your heart, right? How do things feel, right? If you're a meditator, great. If you know how to visualize and you have an active imagination, great. Do those things, tap into what you do know, or the gifts that you do have, or the potential that you have. This will help. And then with the underlying energy of the sun, well, let me tell you, the sun is the best card in the deck. When we're talking tarot, it is never bad. It is always good. If it shows up in reverse, sometimes that can denote a bit of a delay in things happening. But this guy, he is upright. He is shining bright. This is really good. I'm talking about manifestation powers, and because it's lined up under the High Priestess, this is no time to fool around. I'm loving this. So let's see, what are we manifesting? What area? What are we talking about? Because this card is really speaking to what area are you manifesting in? Well, with the High Priestess, it's all of them. It's all of them. Everything's available to you right now. But let's see where the focus is or should be. First card up, we have the 10 of Wands. And this was similar to, I can't remember which the other pile was. It doesn't hurt to watch all 3 videos because you might take something out of all of them. But this is, you've been working at something or involved in something, and it's at the end of the line. So I think the manifestation is, where do you want to go from here? It's like once you've achieved something, it's like, yeah, I've won the prize, or I got the job or whatever. Now what? Or I got the degree, I got the diploma. Now what? Right? Life never ends. We're constantly evolving, growing, and moving towards something. What is the next something? This is why this 10 of Wands is here. It's that little flag to you like, hey, sweetheart, remember, you're almost done. Have you thought about where you want to take this? Have you thought about where you want to go next? Have you thought about if you want to do this again? Because sometimes it's a cycle that repeats. These are things to think about, especially because we're in this high manifestation, this vibe, right? So right beside that is where we have our Knight of Wands. Now, he's in reverse, and the Knight of Wands, very fiery, very passionate, very forward-moving energy. Because he's in the reverse, it feels to me like it is just slowed down. He's slowed down to take a pause and make sure that he knows where he's going. Normally, he's right out the gate. That horse is like kicking up mud, right? He's flying so fast on this horse right out the gate. And then eventually it's, oh, but what now? Oh, but maybe I should stop and read my map. I think I know where I'm going. I think I know what I need to do, but let's just regroup for a moment. And I also say that because right beside it, we have the 10 of Cups, also in reverse. 10 of Cups is a beautiful card. It's like this emotional satisfaction for everybody. Everyone's feeling good. Everyone's feeling the positive vibes. And so much in your life is where you want it to be and how it should transpire. We're in reverse here. We might be headed towards it, but we're not there yet. We're not quite there yet. How are you going to get there? And what do you want it to look like when this is done? When this is done, does it automatically mean you've made it? I don't think so. I think there's more to it. That's why you need to tap into your intuition. It's all good. What's coming is good. But if you're feeling like, oh, once this is done, that's it, one and done. It's like, no, sweetheart, I think you got more to do. I think there's more to focus on. This is what the reading is asking. And then last, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Seven of Swords, when it's upright, it's a card of planning, okay? It's a card of strategy. It's figuring stuff out. It's making the plans. It's doing the things, right? Because this is in reverse, I think this is saying less planning, more feeling. Less thinking, more feeling kind of thing. We're going to see what comes out. I might want to get another card after this one. We'll see what the oracle cards have to say. No, I don't want that one. So let's get our oracle cards. Now, these are our clarifiers. This is going to give us a little more information. So we might gain some really good clarity there. But I'm super curious about that Seven of Swords. Super curious to see where that's headed. So let's see. One of these guys, and then we got one more coming. Taking a quick little look here, and I'm liking this. I think I'm liking this. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Let's get our cards. I'm going to get them in frame as best I can. So apologies if it's not quite the best, but got a small little window here. Let's see where we're going. There we go. And then we'll take a look at all these guys. And these cards are large, so I'll fit that in the best I can too. Okay. There we go. Now, under the Ten of Wands, the card that came out is Dragonfly. And it says, live life to the fullest. Once you're here, once you're done, how do you live life to the fullest? What does that look like? When that Ten of Cups is finally turned around and upright and positive, what does that look like? This is what you're manifesting or heading towards. This is the manifestation you want to work on because you are so close to this, right? So you need to think about what this looks like. It's the joy, son. It's the joy. It's the passion. It's the contentment. It's the living your best life, right? What does that look like? Then when we look at our Knight of Wands in reverse, the card that came out is wait for winter. During the colder months, the Fairy Queen of Winter will help you to manifest your most heartfelt wishes as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. Now, perhaps, doesn't matter when you're watching this because these are timeless videos anyway, but maybe getting things sorted out, figuring it out, and focusing on what it is that you want, you may not see that happen right away. You're going to see everything line up and point in that direction. That's the manifestation. You're just at the tip of the iceberg right now. But this is where you're headed, and it's where you choose. But it may take a while until winter. So if you've just come out of winter, it could be another 10, 11, 12 months, right? Before this comes to fully manifest. But that's why it's like, you're never done. You're never one and done. What can you do while the manifestation is taking its time to brew and percolate and come to you? You just need to keep your finger on the pulse and see that it is going along the trajectory that you want. So it may take a little bit of time. Now, if you're in winter, well, it's here. If you're in fall, if it's autumn, well, you're pretty darn close, right? Everything is so close, and a year really isn't that much time anyway. When we look at the Ten of Cups, the card that came out is freedom. What is going to give you this satisfaction for everybody? The family, the kids, the dog. When are you going to feel it? When are you going to feel like you've made it? When you feel freedom. This is the card that came out under our Ten of Cups. When you feel free, when the chains are gone, when the commitments have been met, when the project is over, when the contract is completed, then you're there because you've got that freedom. aha, remember, just because this ends doesn't mean there's something else, not something else that can come or needs to come. Needs to come because we always need to be growing and evolving as I had spoken about, right? So I'm loving this. It's that feeling of freedom. You know you're there. And last, when we look at our Seven of Swords in reverse, the card that came out is B. This is around community, and it says, you are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Beautiful, right? And because this is about community, that's what the 10 of Cups is. It's your community. It's your tribe. It's your people. It's everybody. Once this feeling starts coming, right? That feeling of freedom, that feeling of, oh, finally we can breathe, right? It's sigh of relief kind of thing. It's like, yes, this is amazing. Now what? It's the strength of the community that brings abundance. Yeah, you are the queen of abundance. You're going to be the facilitator. You're going to be the coordinator because you know what it is that needs to be done. You know what it is that needs to be manifested and brought in for the good of all. It's leaning into this. It's going into your feelings and your emotions as everything is coming up and this path is being laid and the things are manifesting and everything's coming. It's then what? This thing about winter, the manifestation comes to a point, but then the winter piece is wait till you see what comes in winter. Should you choose, right? We all have free will. There's no guarantee this happens. It happens if you put in the effort. If you listen to the messages and follow along. That's when the potential comes. But this community piece, you are the glue that holds the family together. That's why this is here with the High Priestess. This isn't just the Sun card of that joy and beauty and gratification and freedom and all those beautiful things for you. It's for everybody. It's for all. This 10 of Cups is really important. It's all about your tribe, your community. Oh, I'm loving this too. So pile number 3, we're going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope this is helpful. And I hope this manifestation knocks everyone off their socks. So if you like this reading, I got some more. All kinds of insights. Check out this reading. There's going to be a thingy up here somewhere. Check it out. More insights and information. Because you know what? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help as best I can. And I hope I have helped you today. So we're going to leave it there. Good luck with everything, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.